Okay, next we have accidentals. And accidentals are a challenging thing for students. Again, this is something I would say for older grades. Don't try and teach your kindergartens or first graders these things because they really just don't need to know it. Accidentals help in our pitch notation when we need to use what we call the black notes on the piano. The white notes or the diatonic notes are all used in the key of C, but as soon as we leave the key of C, we've got to do something to get to those black notes. So here's what we do. We have three types of accidentals. They look like this. The first one is called a sharp, and a sharp raises our pitch a half step. So if I have, just draw a little staff here, hopefully you can see this. That's a terrible clef, but it works. Let's say I have a note right here, which is every good boy does fine. That's our F. If I want that to be the black note above F, I'm going to put a sharp before it. So now it's F sharp, and it's a half step higher than our plain F. Okay? A flat does the opposite. It takes it down a half step. So if I have a note on that line, which is every good boy, that's a B. If I want it to be on the black note below B, I'm going to put a flat. And you'll notice that the accidentals have to be on the same line or space as the note. Okay? Otherwise it's confusing. So make sure that if you draw those, you put them on the same note line or space. All right. So sharps go up a half step, flats go down a half step. The last thing is dealing with when we want to take one of those away. So we got to teach you some other things now. So I'm going to draw a little bit longer staff here. And let's just use bass clef since we don't get to use that too often. Now if I have, let's say I have a B flat and an E flat, those are canceled out by this bar line. So if I write in an accidental, they're automatically canceled when the bar line happens. Okay? So if I put another one right here, instead of being E flat, that is going to be just plain E because that bar line canceled out my flat. But if I add a flat, now it's an E flat. But what if I wanted to put right here an E instead of an E flat? Here's where I use my natural. So the natural cancel flats and sharps. Okay? So if I have a flat and I need to get rid of it before the bar line, then I use a natural to go back. So I have B flat, E flat, E flat again. Now it's plain E, or we would call that E natural since we've already had a flat here. And that's the purpose of that, is to cancel sharps and flats. Okay? Now also, this is going to be very key, and pun intended there. When you have a key signature, which is the next video, you'll be using a lot of these because the key signature automatically dictates that specific notes are sharped or flatted. And the only way to get rid of that is by using a natural sign. So this is used a lot when you have a key signature, not so much when there's no key signature.